Let's be honest, English spelling can be a little bit wild sometimes. Today, we're going to tackle one of its most notorious puzzles, the OUGH spelling. We're going to decode 6 words that look so similar on the page, but as you're about to hear, sound completely different from one another. And here they are, the usual suspects. If you've ever just stared at these words and thought, what is going on here? Trust me, you are not alone. Even native speakers get tripped up by these. But don't worry, we're about to solve this puzzle together, one sound at a time. So, here's our game plan. It's actually pretty simple. First, we'll look at the words that sound like go, then we'll move on to the ones that sound like you. After that, we'll tackle a couple of unique sounds before we do a final review to make sure it all sticks. All right, let's dive into our first group. For these next 2 words, that OUGH makes a nice, clean O sound, just like in the word go. First up, we have though. Can you hear it? So. It's basically a casual, informal way to say although or however. You'll use it all the time to show a contrast, kind of like a relaxed version of but.
Now here's what's interesting. In everyday conversation, you'll often hear this word tacked right onto the end of a sentence, just like this. It's a really natural way to soften that contrast a bit. I'm available on the 16th, though.
Okay, our second word in this group is thorough. Listen close. It's got that exact same O sound, thorough. This word is all about doing something with incredible care, paying attention to every single detail. When you're thorough, you don't miss anything. So, for example, a thorough investigation means you're looking at all the facts, checking every angle, and leaving absolutely no stone unturned before you decide anything. Okay, so we've got the O sound down. Now let's switch gears. We're moving on to our next group, where that same OUGA spelling makes a totally different sound. A long OO sound, just like in the words you or blue. All right, first up in this group, through. Through. This one's got a couple of key meanings. The first one is super physical, going in one side and coming out the other. And the second is about finishing something, working on it from the very beginning to the very end. This is a perfect, super simple picture of that first meaning. You can just imagine it, right? The ball literally went in one side of the window and out the other. That's through. Next up is throughout, and you can probably see that it builds right off the last word. When you add that out on the end, you're basically stretching the meaning to cover everywhere in a place or for the entire time something is happening. Oh man, we have all been there, right? This example perfectly captures that whole time meaning. They weren't just chatting for a second. They talked from the beginning of the movie all the way to the end, throughout the entire thing. Okay, on to our final category. Now, these last 2 words are kind of the outliers. They don't share a sound with each other, but don't worry, they each have really common sound patterns we can connect them to. First is tough, T-O-U-F. It sounds just like stuff or enough, right? And it has 2 main jobs. It can describe something that's really strong, that doesn't break easily, or it can describe something that's just plain difficult. And hey, here's a sentence I think every single one of us can agree with. This is a perfect example of tough meaning difficult. It's a challenge for sure, but like any tough challenge, it's one we can definitely handle. And our final word is thought, ought. See how it rhymes with words like bought or not? You're going to see this most often as the past tense of the verb to think. But it can also be a noun, an idea, like in, hey, that's a nice thought. This sentence is probably the most common way you'll hear it used. It's just a simple statement about what someone was thinking in the past. I thought. It's a phrase you hear and use all the time. All right, we've done it. We've broken down all 6 of these tricky words. Now it's time for a final review, to put all the pieces together and make sure it all clicks into place for good. Okay, let's do a super quick lightning round. You ready? Though sounds like go, it means but. Thorough also sounds like go, it means complete. Through sounds like you, means in and out. Throughout takes that and means the whole time. Tough sounds like stuff, it means difficult. And thought sounds like bought, the past of think. Boom, you've got 'em. All right, think you've got it? Let's do a little test. Moving to a new country can be, which word fits here? We need something that means difficult, a challenge. So the word has to be tough. Moving to a new country can be tough. See? You got this. And that's a wrap on our OUGH puzzle explainer. We broke it all down by sound and meaning, and I really hope it's a lot less confusing now. So, what do you think? What other crazy English puzzle should we tackle together next time? Go ahead and let me know.